Immortality Season 5 Episode 28. Fang Han enters the Five Elements land, a place where he is no longer within the Xianwang Great World. Dangers lurk everywhere, and without the infinite endurance of the worldly arts, even he would be unable to bear it. Clearly, this adventurous journey has just begun. So, what level of demonic beast will he encounter now? Interpreting the original classic and savoring human destiny, Fang Han from the Guaman section welcomes viewers back to the original interpretation video of Eternal Life. Picking up from last time. After cultivating 55 types of divine abilities, Fang Han once again set off to search for the Five Elements spiritual root. He flew for a full 2 days, passing countless divine temples and abandoned ancient cities, before gradually approaching the location marked on the map. While flying according to the map, Fang Han asked Yen, "You said Meng Xiaobai spent a fortune to buy that Kunping giant egg. What kind of cultivation technique is he trying to achieve with it?" "I also have a Kunping egg. How should I best utilize it?" Yen replied, "A Kunping egg is something one can only hope to stumble upon. After obtaining one, most people would want to hatch it. However, this approach requires tens of thousands of years to succeed and demands feeding it a vast amount of elixirs, making the consumption immense. Secondly, one can refine it into an elixir. Thirdly, one can use its life essence to cultivate a Dao technique. If my guess is correct, Meng Xiaobai is preparing to do just that. He has passed through the fire and wind great tribulation and needs to accumulate extremely powerful vitality before he can transform into a heaven and earth Dharma idol. As for you, you currently don't lack life essence. What you lack most is 5 elements primordial qi. The best way for you to utilize that giant Kunping egg is to cultivate the fiend embryo parasitic art. This is an ancient, most overbearing, enigmatic, and inhumane supreme divine ability. It involves integrating oneself into the placenta, plundering all of the Kunping's primordial energy, and becoming an existence similar to it, neither fully human nor non-human, neither fully Kunping nor non-Kunping. This way, your body can infinitely accommodate magical power, infinitely cultivate divine abilities, and your lifespan will surge dramatically because your body will essentially be a Kunping. Kunpings can swallow seas and swear by mountains, and the primordial qi they can hold is immeasurably greater than a human's. Fang Han then asked if Yen knew this divine ability. Yen replied that he did not. The royal authority Great Emperor certainly did, Yen continued. Now, I estimate that even some demon gods among the heavenly demons wouldn't know it, only those undying demon venerables from ancient times might. When you cultivate to the longevity mysteries realm and fully restore me, then open the royal authority treasury, you can obtain all sorts of ancient, supreme demonic Dao secret arts and 99 divine abilities left behind by the royal authority Great Emperor. Back then, the Yellow Springs Great Emperor collected Qilin eggs, black tortoise eggs, phoenix eggs, heavenly dragon eggs, and hundreds of other rare divine beast eggs or placentas from across heaven and earth. He arranged them into a chaos primordial embryo great array, merging all the divine beasts' primordial energy and life characteristics into one. Only then did he cultivate to the 10th layer of the longevity scripture, finally tearing open the gates of the immortal realm and ascending through the void. Such secret arts can only be known by opening the royal authority treasury. Fang Han then asked, would an egg that has been parasitized by a Kunping then have a lifespan of over 10,000 years, comparable to a longevity mysteries realm expert? Yen replied, that's impossible. An expert of the divine abilities realm, no matter how many divine abilities they cultivate or how many longevity-increasing elixirs they consume, will not exceed 10,000 years. This is a restriction imposed by the laws of the unseen world. Even an expert at the 10th layer of divine abilities, capable of defying fate, even if they consumed a legendary immortal elixir, when their lifespan approaches 10,000 years, their entire body's vital essence will begin to rapidly dissipate, scattering into the void, and then they will die. A lifespan of 10,000 years is a threshold. Therefore, those who step into the longevity mysteries realm and become ancient magnates have their first layer called the myriad longevity realm. As for the higher realms like the undying body, those are things beyond our reach. Even if I recover all my power, I would only be equivalent to an expert at the second layer of the longevity mysteries realm, the undying body stage, just one level higher than Elder Tianqing. Fang Han's current lifespan is around 2,000 years, a result of consuming the 9 apertures golden elixir, which increased his lifespan by 800 years. Just as they were chatting, the divine temple marked on the map appeared before them. This temple rivaled the Taiyuan immortal mansion in grandeur, exuding a magnificent aura. Numerous towering divine statues stood around it, seemingly guarding the temple and lending it an air of royalty. After paying his respects at the entrance, Fang Han entered. The interior of the grand hall was somewhat similar to the Taiyuan immortal mansion. In its depths, there were 5 colored gates: black for water, red for fire, azure for wood, yellow for earth, and white gold for metal. These 5 gates seemed instantly reachable, yet one could vaguely feel folded space fluctuating. Although it looked quite dangerous, having come this far, Fang Han naturally wouldn't retreat or hesitate. He flew straight in, feeling as if he had broken into another world. A dizzying sensation of the heavens and earth spinning enveloped him, and his vision went completely dark. What then entered his sight was a desolate, boundless wasteland, similar to the demon battlefield. Looking at the countless stars in the sky, Fang Han realized that he had unexpectedly arrived on another planet. However, the passage he came through was gone, making escape a problem. This realization caused a terrifying emotion to rise in Fang Han's heart. In the distance, a lone mountain peak stood tall, seemingly inscribed with characters. Fang Han quickly flew over, observing that one side of the mountain was as flat as if carved by a blade, with several prominent characters flowing across it. 5 elements land, suppressing ancient demons, danger, 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 danger. A total of 7 danger characters, each more potent than the last, formed a severe warning, urging people to leave quickly. Fang Han was silent for a moment, then asked Yen, "What is this 5 elements land? Where are we now? Are we still within the Xianwang Great World?" Yen looked around and replied, "No, we're not. We are now in a distant starfield. Moreover, I haven't found any spatial temporal passages that connect to the Xianwang Great World. If nothing unexpected happens, I can confidently say that we are trapped here. I just don't know what dangers lie here. In any case, in my memories, this place doesn't exist. Even the royal authority Great Emperor never explored the barren divine temple back then." Fang Han said, "Since we are already trapped here and there's no turning back, we can only move forward. Besides, this place is called the 5 Elements Land, so it must contain a vast amount of 5 elements primordial qi." Having made up his mind, Fang Han bypassed the mountain peak inscribed with 7 danger characters, flying low and swiftly away. Just then, on the ground in the distance, a pair of eyes appeared on a massive patch of earth, staring at Fang Han as he flew low, an endless, ferocious glint in its gaze. "There's a heavenly demon's aura ahead," Yen warned, "and it's a demon king." Fang Han immediately felt a powerful demonic aura rushing towards him. Being very familiar with heavenly demons, he recognized it instantly. Sure enough, a heavenly demon king appeared ahead, clad in strange bone armor and wielding a trident. Upon seeing Fang Han, this heavenly demon king let out a series of excited, strange cries. "Human cultivator flesh and blood good. It's truly excellent." Then, its trident flashed, and it viciously stabbed towards Fang Han. Fang Han sneered inwardly. This heavenly demon king's cultivation was only equivalent to a cultivator who had just stepped into the divine abilities realm. To him, it was merely a trivial matter. He extended his left hand, and the heavenly demon hand immediately shot out to grab it. Instantly, black demonic flames blazed, burning fiercely and immediately freezing everything around them. Seeing the black demonic hand descend, this heavenly demon king immediately realized it was no match. A look of fear began to appear on its face, but then it abruptly transformed into excitement. It even shouted loudly, "Ah! Heavenly demon disintegration! Nirvana rebirth! Eternal bliss. Then, its body swelled 1,000-fold. It had actually unleashed the great heavenly demon disintegration art. With a bang, a massive explosion sent Fang Han's sky-covering demonic hand reeling. This heavenly demon king had actually decisively self-destructed. Fang Han was puzzled. He couldn't understand why this heavenly demon king had abandoned its life so quickly, even showing a hint of treating death as a return home. Originally, he had only intended to suppress this heavenly demon and bring it back. Yen said, reminding him, something feels off. This heavenly demon king seems to have been brainwashed. It doesn't fear death at all, believing it will be reborn and resurrected after self-destruction. Moreover, I always feel that this land of 5 elements contains immense danger. It seems to have sealed away something terrifying. The vast primordial power here makes even me feel dread. Fang Han nodded. Since that's the case, everyone be more careful from now on. Who knew that just then, from the earth beneath them, a powerful surge of earth elemental chi suddenly erupted. The ground suddenly burst open, and an earthy yellow tongue shot out, opening its gaping maw to devour Fang Han. This earthy yellow tongue belonged to a vine serpent. Its strength was equivalent to a cultivator at the second layer of the divine abilities realm, a true chi realm expert. Fang Han, using shifting phantom, instantly vanished from his spot, then reappeared above the tongue. He slammed down with his left palm, and the power of the sky-covering demonic hand instantly shattered the tongue. Immediately, the tongue transformed into a stream of pure, earthy yellow primordial chi. Fang Han's mind stirred. He immediately activated the earthy yellow gang chi within his spleen, absorbing this pure primordial chi. Now he understood. This land of 5 elements contained many powerful demonic beasts and heavenly demons, all born from the 5 elements primordial chi. As long as he killed these demonic beasts and heavenly demons, he could continuously absorb primordial chi. Just like the vine serpent from earlier, it was a monster formed from earth elemental primordial chi that had condensed to its extreme. After dealing with the vine serpent, Fang Han continued flying forward. After flying for less than 10 li, a red cloud flew in from the distant sky. Within it, ka-ka-ka sounds could be heard. Yen suddenly exclaimed, "A flock of fire crows." These are fire crows formed from the essence of Li fire. They usually only appear in the skies close to the sun. They're extremely formidable. A flock of over 3,000 fire crows can rival a great fire elemental divine ability unleashed by a golden core expert. Here, there are at least 10,000 of them. At this moment, Fang Han finally understood what covering the sky and earth truly meant. Wherever the flock of fire crows flew, the ground turned to scorched earth. Some areas even began to melt. Upon seeing Fang Han, the flock of fire crows directly swooped down. Fang Han dared not hesitate. He immediately unleashed the Red Emperor Fire Emperor Chi, and a figure, a phantom of the Fire Emperor and Red Emperor, appeared. The boundless might caused the swooping fire crows to hesitate slightly. Following this, he also released the Black Emperor Water Emperor Springs Gang Chi. He further set up an ice and snow barrier around them, which finally brought a cooling sensation to everyone, resisting the erosion of the fire chi. After setting up these defenses, the sky-covering demonic hand shot out, sweeping deep into the flock of fire crows. With a sweep of black demonic flames, the fire crows fell like raindrops, then exploded into a mass. The crimson fire elemental primordial chi was absorbed by the Fire Emperor Phantom. Charging left and right amidst the flock of fire crows, the demonic hand sizzled from the burning, even feeling a slight pain. Fang Han was secretly alarmed. This flock of fire crows is indeed formidable. The sky-covering demonic hand is a top-grade treasure artifact, and it even contains a divine ability from the sky-covering demonic art. Yet, it's actually being burned and feeling pain. Next, he unleashed the sky-grinding blood blade, which, combined with the demonic hand, swept back and forth. The fire crows were killed one after another, all transforming into fire elemental primordial chi. After a fierce battle, the tens of thousands of fire crows were finally all annihilated. Fang Han's Fire Emperor true body also seemed to brighten somewhat. He let out a long breath, preparing to rest for a while. Yen said, "I'm afraid not yet." Just then, a large patch of golden clouds surged from the horizon, accompanied by a buzzing sound. It seemed like tens of thousands of bees were surging towards them like a frenzy. Yen looked at the dense golden cloud and quickly urged Fang Han to activate their defenses. What's coming this time are life-reaping golden needle divine bees. They are formed from gung metal chi. The life-reaping golden needles they spray from their tails specialize in breaking through Taoist gang chi. Even spirit-grade magical treasures cannot withstand them. Once a life-reaping golden needle hits a cultivator's flesh and blood, it will immediately burrow into the body, destroying the brain and divine ability nodes. Fang Han dared not be negligent. He hadn't expected that immediately after entering the land of 5 elements, dangers would come one after another. The self-destructing heavenly demon king, the vine serpent, and the flock of 10,000 fire crows, each was more formidable than the last. Although he had Yen protecting him, he still couldn't withstand these endless attacks. Moreover, he didn't have any powerful defensive magical treasures on him. Just then, Star Cloud Baby suddenly cried out, and a starlight sphere flew out, immediately shielding everyone from head to toe. Just as their defenses were established, the swarm of divine bees suddenly accelerated, and in a flash, they were above everyone's heads. Countless golden needles sprayed from the bees' tails, causing the starlight shield to shake violently. However, the starlight shield was very thick. The inner layer of mental power continuously vibrated, shattering the golden needles that shot in. They transformed into the purest metal elemental primordial chi. Star Cloud Baby's face turned ashen. If the star cloud orb were just a little weaker, those golden needles might have pierced through. Fang Han also watched with secret alarm, but dared not be negligent in the slightest. He opened his mouth and spat, and the White Emperor Golden Emperor Slash was unleashed. The white sword light immediately absorbed the shattered metal elemental primordial chi. Then, this sword light flew out, slaughtering the divine bees like a soaring dragon. Thousands of divine bees were directly cut down, but even more divine bees flew over. Now, the divine bees were densely packed, actually gathering together to form a golden silk sword. With a single slash, it blocked the White Emperor Golden Emperor Slash. Fang Han's mind moved. He quickly unleashed all his great fire elemental divine abilities. Fire overcomes metal. Using fire to burn these divine bees, which are formed from gung metal chi, will surely yield miraculous results. Who knew that when the vermilion bird dance and phoenix cry, these two great fire elemental divine abilities, flew out, the sky-filling inferno actually couldn't burn those divine bees in the slightest. Only the Red Emperor Fire Emperor Chi and the 2 masses of flame from the Great Sunfire Calamity could melt some of the divine bees. Fang Han's surprise deepened. He thought, if I could capture some of them and refine them into beings that obey me, wouldn't I be invincible once I release them? But he knew this was just a thought. To refine all of them, he would have to learn the demonic Tao. Only some ghostly soul-subduing divine abilities would be effective. Immediately, he waved his left hand once more. The sky-shrouding demonic hand, combined with the golden yellow sever, swept forth. Instantly, it crushed the nearly 1,000 giant swords formed by the divine winds, pulverizing them before they were absorbed by the White Emperor Golden Yellow Sever. Just like this, group after group of divine winds were slain. More and more gung metal chi was absorbed by the White Emperor Golden Yellow Sever. This was no less effective than absorbing another grand white gold star stone. If it were the great freedom profound scripture sword chi being cultivated, killing thousands of divine winds would have long since completed its refinement. However, the golden seal primordial chi required by the White Emperor Golden Yellow Sever was truly immense. Even so, the more Fang Han slayed, the stronger the aura of the White Emperor Golden Yellow Sever became. Eventually, that streak of white Vajrachi became incredibly dazzling and eye-piercing. However, it was still far from evolving into the gung metal divine tiers. As the White Emperor Golden Yellow Sever grew stronger and stronger, Fang Han's speed in slaying the divine winds also increased. In the end, it was almost like a massacre. With a single thought, his sword chi would cleave a divine wind in two. 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. He didn't know how long he had been killing like this. Suddenly, Fang Han felt a lightness around him. He looked up and realized that all the divine winds filling the sky had been annihilated by him. Now, the White Emperor Golden Yellow Sever could almost rival a supreme-grade treasure-level flying sword, like the Ghost Serpent, Azure Snow Soul-Extinguishing Sword, and other such treasures. Fang Han said, "Let's rest for a bit now." With that, he used the Sea Kidnichi art to conceal his aura and descended to the ground. Who knew? The moment he landed, with a rumble, many springs of water suddenly gushed out from the ground. These spring waters instantly condensed into hundreds of strange fish, tearing and biting towards Fang Han. Some of the strange fish spat out water jets from their mouths, while others opened their mouths and immediately spewed out large water orbs. He sighed, "Here they come again. These are fish spirits condensed from Kuei water chi. Only by killing them all." Fang Han remained silent, as if to conserve all his essence, chi, and spirit. After steeling his resolve, the black earth water yellow springs and sky-shrouding demonic hand were unleashed one after another. These strange fish were not as formidable as the divine winds before. Their main threat came from the water bolts they spat from their mouths. However, those water bolts were all blocked by the radiance of the Sun Moon 5 stars turbidity. The demonic hand clawed wildly everywhere, and one by one, the strange fish were crushed by the demonic hand, turning into the purest water vapor and merging into the black earth water yellow springs. Fang Han didn't know how many he had slain. Finally, the treasure artifacts, even the King of Blood, seemed somewhat fatigued. The radiance of the Sun Moon 5 stars turbidity also dimmed. Although these two treasure artifacts were powerful, they couldn't maintain their immense power indefinitely, even they would grow weary after prolonged fierce attacks. Immediately, he quickly spewed out his magical power, continuously injecting it into the two treasure artifacts. The battle had lasted for more than half a day, causing all the immortal realm primordial chi bestowed by the art of the world to be depleted. Originally, he could use this to refine over 36,000 nascent soul pills daily, but now he couldn't produce even a single one. The tireless battle continued like this until the last Kuei waterfish spirit was annihilated. Fang Han could finally catch his breath. If not for the support of the art of the world, providing an endless supply of magical power, even with his 55 great divine abilities, he would now be utterly exhausted and would have been besieged and killed by countless monsters. He thought of Meng Xiaobai, who had no treasure artifacts and had ventured into the land of 5 elements alone for tempering, yet managed to emerge alive from this land of 5 elements. He was truly incredibly formidable. During the time he caught his breath, Fang Han immediately activated the Panwu Great Strength, the body regulation method among his divine abilities. He used his magical power to nourish the various acupoints, muscles, and tendons in his body. These divine abilities were very useful during life and death struggles, as they could help cultivators alleviate muscle fatigue and recover quickly. And from the battle with the strange fish just now, the black earth water yellow springs, the true water element's supreme divine ability within him, had also begun to undergo a subtle transformation. He hadn't rested for long when Star Cloud Baby's loud shout, "More monsters are coming," startled Fang Han awake. Fang Han looked up and saw countless giant figures appear on the distant horizon. These figures, each one 6 or 7 times the height of an ordinary person, were giants with wooden textures on their bare bodies. They were, in fact, wood giants, thousands upon thousands of them, forming a massive army. These wood giants leaped incredibly high, gliding through the air like enormous birds. They wielded wooden axes, wooden spears, wooden blades, wooden tridents, and so on. Like flies drawn to blood, they fiercely pounced upon Fang Han the moment they saw him. The Green Emperor Wood Emperor art had already reached great perfection. However, by killing these wood giants and absorbing more of their primordial chi, the Wood Emperor Adamantine Chi's power would become even greater. It would also be beneficial for cultivating spirit herbs in the future. As Fang Han thought this, he instantly cleaved apart a wood giant's attack. The sky-shrouding demonic hand, once unleashed, crushed the opponent into dust. With the sky-shrouding demonic hand and the blade-grinding blood firmament, two great killing techniques, working in tandem, hundreds of wood giants were immediately slain, all transforming into pure wood element primordial chi. Star Cloud Baby also made his move. He manifested his innate adamantine chi, and in coordination with Fang Han's slaughter, for every wood giant he killed, he would also collect its wood element primordial chi, transforming it into a verdant bead and storing it in his spatial pouch. He had now cultivated to the adamantine chi essence stage, but had been unable to break through to the fourth layer yin-yang well for a long time to transform his adamantine chi into spiritual essence. Now, this bout of slaughter, under immense pressure, seemed to have given him some enlightenment. These wood giants were all incredibly strong, and their martial arts were exquisite. Whether it was spear arts or blade arts, they were all very practical. If any of these weapon arts were passed down to the mortal world, they could become the inherited ultimate techniques of countless aristocratic families and great clans. Fang Han, while slaughtering, also memorized the martial arts displayed by these wood giants. Yan also joined the battle. As soon as the gate of Abi opened, demonic chi enveloped the area. Every wisp of demonic chi that entwined around a wood giant's body would cause that wood giant to instantly die and be sucked into the gate. In this way, nearly 10,000 of the hundreds of thousands of wood giants in the army were swept away in an instant. Just like that, in the blink of an eye, the dense army was completely torn through. Fang Han was in the midst of an exhilarating slaughter, when suddenly, the wood giants before him parted like a tide. A small wood king, the size of a human, appeared before him. That wood king spoke in human tongue, outsider. "How dare you slaughter my soldiers? Die!" This wood king wore a wooden crown and held a verdant wooden blade. His face was stern and majestic. He could actually speak human language, clearly possessing high intelligence. Fang Han didn't bother with pleasantries with this monster. He directly activated the sky-shrouding demonic hand, intending to kill the opponent on the spot. He could tell that the wood element primordial chi contained within this wood king was far denser than the azure dragon and Puyang tomb auctioned at the treasure convention. If he could capture it, it would be another treasure. The wood king roared, "You seek death. Wood god general slaying blade." With that, a layer of green adamantine chi actually emanated from around his body. The long blade in his hand burst forth with dazzling brilliance. With a flicker of his body, he instantly dodged the sky-shrouding demonic hand and charged towards Fang Han's head, cleaving down. Fang Han was startled. He hadn't expected this wood king to be so powerful. He could almost be compared to some true disciples of the Tai sect, such as Yao Dian, who is at the divine abilities fourth layer, yin-yang realm, could rival him. If it were a one-on-one fight without artifacts, even some experts of the natural realm wouldn't be able to defeat him. However, encountering a monster like Fang Han, he naturally wouldn't be so lucky. The Blood King suddenly erupted, meeting him with a single saber strike. Mu Wang's long saber was cleaved apart, and then his body was also sliced in two. Woo-woo. Mu Wang let out agonizing whimpers. Vast wood elemental energy poured into Fang Han's body, and the power of the Azure Emperor Wood Emperor Palace surged once more. Fang Han couldn't resist, opening his mouth and spitting towards the sky. Instantly, the heavens themselves changed color. A Wood Emperor Azure Emperor flew out from his mouth, soaring into the sky, where it instantly transformed into a vast expanse of verdant cloud energy that densely covered the sky. Within the verdant clouds, green lightning continuously rumbled. Clusters of wood divine thunder poured down like hailstones, immediately exploding upon contact with any object. Boom! Instantly, countless wood giants were blasted to death, transforming into wood elemental energy that ascended into the sky, merging into the rolling verdant clouds. Simultaneously, even more wood divine thunder poured down from the clouds. All the wood giants were slaughtered clean, and rolling wood emperor chi rose into the sky, enveloping a sky spanning 40 to 50 li in radius. Everyone could feel the terrifying destructive power contained within, and also a vibrant vitality, a potent aura that fostered the growth of all things. The wood divine thunder, a great demonic divine ability of the martial emperor's Azure Emperor Wood Emperor Palace, only now revealed its true power. I can see that the power of your Azure Emperor Wood Emperor Palace now is no longer inferior to the Great Sunfire Calamity and Black Sun Wind Calamity. In the future, with every realm you advance, its power will continue to grow. Fang Han replied, "Unfortunately, my other 4 divine abilities are far from reaching this level. We still need to kill more monsters formed from 5 elements elemental energy. I'm only now truly feeling the power of the peerless great demonic divine ability. It's truly exhilarating." Just moments ago, Fang Han had recovered from his fatigue using the Panwu Great Strength divine ability and was ready for a grand battle. As he spoke, Fang Han had already taken flight, sweeping towards the depths of the 5 elements land. Xingyun Bao Bao let out a joyful cry and quickly followed. Just after Fang Han and the others had flown over 1,000 li, they suddenly sensed a vast earth elemental energy again, manifesting as monsters formed from misty earth elemental energy. This played right into Fang Han's hands. The heaven-shrouding demonic hand, Blood Saber, and Wood Divine Thunder launched attacks one after another. The Wood Divine Thunder, in particular, was a natural counter against earth attribute monsters. Rolling green clouds in the sky dropped countless hailstones. With a single round of bombardment, more than half of the tens of millions of earth elemental monsters perished, transforming into earth elemental energy that was absorbed by the Yellow Emperor Earth Emperor path. Just like this, Fang Han continuously pressed forward, advancing deeper into the 5 elements land, where the slaughter along the way never ceased. Besides fire-pressing golden wind herdsmen and water fish vine serpents, they also encountered iron-piercing beasts, gigantic earth golems, fire sprites, and even massive jellyfish floating in the air. The deeper they ventured into the 5 elements land, the stronger the monsters became. However, Fang Han's 5 Emperors' great demonic divine ability also grew increasingly profound, its power growing greater and greater, seemingly approaching a critical point of saturation. Unbeknownst to him, Fang Han had already been deep within the 5 elements land for 10 days. During this time, although he encountered many types of demonic beasts, he surprisingly hadn't encountered a single heavenly demon king, despite the words on that mountain peak indicating the 5 elements land should contain a large number of them. So he asked Yen, "What's going on?" Yen replied, "I also find it strange. We haven't been able to fully understand what kind of existence this 5 elements land truly is these past few days. However, one thing is certain, if we want to leave, we must venture deep into the 5 elements land. Otherwise, lingering outside, we'll never be able to leave." Fang Han said, "Next, I suspect that further inside, fire attribute sacred beasts like the vermilion bird and golden crow, and water attribute sacred beasts like the black tortoise, and so on, will all appear." Just at this moment, another powerful demonic beast appeared. A low tiger's roar echoed from afar, its oppressive feeling making Xingyun Bao Bao directly spit out a mouthful of fresh blood. Seeing this, Fang Han quickly sent a stream of Wood Emperor Qi and a stream of Water Emperor Qi into Bao Bao's body, as the combination of water and wood Qi possesses healing properties. That tiger's roar also made Fang Han's heart clench. The pressure exerted by that powerful demonic beast was no less than that of a divine ability's 7th-layer golden core expert, and was even more intense. A streak of platinum appeared on the horizon, and what entered Fang Han's vision was a massive tiger. Its platinum-colored fur swayed in the wind, radiating formidable power. Fang Han immediately recognized it. This was the sacred beast White Tiger, formed from the condensation of metal elemental energy. Within the Xianwang Great World, it would likely be difficult to condense such a divine beast, even after hundreds of thousands of years within vast mineral veins. This white tiger was more than 10,000 times harder to condense than a mountain god pig. Just as Fang Han was marveling, the white tiger spoke, "Human, you are very powerful. You've been in the 5 elements land for 10 days, and surprisingly, you have not a single injury, nor are you exhausted. I truly wonder how many magic jade stones you possess." However, a while ago, another young man broke in. His aptitude seemed a bit better than yours, and his realm was also a bit higher than yours. Fang Han knew the person the white tiger spoke of was Meng Xiaobai. However, when he heard the white tiger evaluate Meng Xiaobai's aptitude as better than his own, he couldn't help but chuckle. You, white tiger, the metal elemental energy you contain is too dense. If I kill you, my metal attribute divine ability will surely reach great perfection, right? The white tiger shook its head. Young man, you're still far too early to think of killing me. I've been in this five elements land for countless years. Many humans and heavenly demons have broken in here, but very few have been able to leave. As for killing me, there hasn't been a single one. Your spree of slaughter woke me from my slumber. I'm very interested in your flesh and blood, your magic power, and the artifacts on your body. Devouring your flesh and blood and refining your Dao body, I presume I can break free from the shackles of the metal spirit root, leave this five elements land, and become truly free. The young man who came in last time escaped right before my eyes. This time, I absolutely won't let this opportunity slip away. Young man, make your move. I'll give you a chance to strike first, otherwise, you won't get another chance. Fang Han scoffed, boastful. Although he understood in his heart that the white tiger before him was incredibly powerful, even the Golden Core experts he had encountered, Wan Luo and the three great bandits, were not as powerful as this white tiger, and the magic power emanating from it could even rival his own. But no matter how powerful it was, it couldn't surpass a ghost emperor, right? So, with that thought, he didn't hesitate in the slightest, declaring, since you say fight, then fight. What kind of spectacle would Fang Han's battle with the white tiger be? Tune in next time to find out. Okay, that's all the content for this video. If you enjoyed it, please don't hesitate to like, share, and subscribe. After all, your support is my motivation to keep creating content. I'm Fang Han. See you in the next video.